Your mic is unmuted.
Are we unmuted? Right. I'm gonna call this special meeting to order, a special meeting of the city of Holiday Island. A special meeting to address an ordinance. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I just noticed on my copy of the agenda, at least, that it says Town of Holiday Island. I must have pulled out an old template when I made up the agenda.
Well, it's appropriate for this one, because we wore the town of Holiday Island
When this got started.
when this got started.
Yeah, that's right. Okay,
I'll move we approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Yeah, okay.
Roll
we have roll call first.
Roll call. Councilmember Dumas,
Here.
Councilmember Elwood,
Here.
Councilmember Graves,
Here.
Councilmember Kuhn. Absent, okay. Councilmember Mills. Here. Councilmember Pittman.
Here.
5 members present, oh, Mr. Mayor,
Here,
5 members of the council present.
I declare a quorum. Barb had an appointment today, so she didn't make it. Now, motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Then made a motion to approve the agenda. Jerry seconded it. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We have no minutes, no, well, I guess we could, does anybody have any ceremonials or proclamations? Hearing none, we'll move on. We have no reports, we have no old business, so we'll move on to new business. The next thing, or the agenda item is an ordinance 2023-012, an ordinance repealing and replacing ordinance 2023-010. Do I have a motion to approve ordinance 2023-012?
Make a motion we approve ordinance 2023-012.
Ken made a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Pat seconded it. Wes, you want to read the ordinance?
Sure.
I don't think we have to read the entire district court cost-sharing agreement.
Just say ordinance, okay.
Read the ordinance.
Excuse me. Ordinance 2023-012. An ordinance repealing and replacing ordinance 2023-010 and authorizing an amended district court cost sharing agreement for the city of Holiday Island, Arkansas, and declaring an emergency. Whereas the city of Holiday Island previously passed ordinance 2023-010 authorizing a district court cost sharing agreement. And whereas circumstances require modification of the agreement as approved by ordinance 2023-010, and now therefore be it ordained by the city council of the city of Holiday Island, Arkansas, that ordinance 2023-010 is repealed in its entirety and replaced with the following agreement, attachment 1. Since this agreement is necessary in order for the city to prosecute citations issued by the city, an emergency is declared to exist. Passed and approved by the City Council of Holiday Island, Arkansas, in the state of being May 4th, 2023. Approved Mayor Dan Keys, attest Wesley Stilley, Recorder Treasurer.
Okay, is there any discussion on the ordinance?
They backed off what county was wanting us to pay quarterly, did they back off that?
Those are just details that, you know, we'll have to work out. You know, I have to schedule a meeting with Judge Ramsey and the clerk to, go over the mechanics of how this is gonna work now that we can be a party to it. And, so that's just one of the mechanisms to, work out. Any other discussion?
Dan, I would just suggest that you state for the record what the difference is between this one, other than the one we approved, a couple of months ago or a month ago, however frequently, however soon it was.
I tell you the truth, I'm not,
I didn't see any difference.
Or
I
was
know
it-
there was some wording changes about,
Seems like you'd put that in one of the emails to tell us what the change was. It was so slight, I don't remember what it was.
No,
yeah,
the first one may not have referenced the county at all, did it?
Maybe that was it.
I don't remember what the differences were.
I didn't see any.
They were very minor. I know if you go back far enough, the sheriff's contract called for the city to get the fine money for tickets written by the sheriff's department, but we changed that in the sheriff's contract to where the county, they write county tickets and the county keeps the
But
revenue.
somehow,
But that was never actually part of this.
we never were able to get signatures on the other version.
I never got the signatures on the other version, and,
So there was some minor change and we were able to get the signatures finally yesterday on this.
I don't have a question on this, fine with what was presented. And I think that I have a question on the contract we have with the prosecuting attorney.
can we discuss that after we
Okay,
take a vote?
I didn't know whether we,
I guess for the record, I didn't bring a copy of the version being repealed, so I can't tell you what the, exact differences are. There were some minor changes to some of the wording, but we never had signatures on the version that was passed with the ordinance 2010 or 23-10. So I guess one main difference is this version has all the signatures.
Yes.
Any other discussion? Roll call vote?
Councilmember Dumas,
Aye.
Councilmember Elwood,
Aye.
Councilmember Graves,
Aye.
Councilmember Mills,
Aye.
Councilmember Pittman.
Aye.
All in favor, Mr. Mayor.
All right, the ordinance is adopted. However, since there's an emergency clause, I'll need a motion to approve the emergency clause.
Make the motion, we approve the emergency clause.
I'll
Okay.
second.
Ken made a motion to approve the emergency clause. Linda seconded it. Any discussion? Roll call vote on that.
Councilmember Dumas,
Aye.
Councilmember Elwood,
Aye.
Councilmember Graves,
Aye.
Councilmember Mills,
Aye.
Councilmember Pittman.
Aye.
All in favor, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, the emergency clause is adopted, so the ordinance can go in effect as of today. All right, I guess the good news is now we can start, enforcing our ordinances. And, we do have a list of about 10 properties that need immediate attention, and I've already talked to Aaron about, the fact that he's, it's okay for him to proceed now and start.
You wanna take a
taking
recess and
enforcement
call him?
action. What?
You wanna take a recess and call him and tell him to hit the streets?
I'll let you wait
No.
20 minutes.
He, I talked to him for quite a while this morning. He's, well aware of the fact that we're ready to rock and roll now. Okay, and there's no public here, so I guess we'll have no public comments. Council member, Ken, you want to talk?
We signed a contract with the prosecuting attorney 3-4 months ago at least, but I think, I don't think we have to do anything to amend that. I think it's good to go.
Yeah, I have to call them and tell them that, that we're all set. I put together 4 ring binders with, some information. Judge Ramsey gave me a list of things that they need at, at the court. One is copies of all of our ordinances that, that we're going to be enforcing through their court. What the fines and penalties are, who our contacts are, and, there's one or two other things on the list. Oh, the agreement itself. So anyway, I put together 4 ring binders, one for Clint Shield, the prosecuting attorney, one for Aaron, and 2 for Judge Ramsey and his clerks that have all that information. Now, that group needs to get together and talk about the mechanics of, when Aaron wants to write a citation, who does he call to get a court date? Who notifies the prosecuting attorney? How does everybody get their hands on all of the backup information for the citation and everything else? So I'll be setting that meeting up here as soon as I can, with Judge Ramsey.
Ms. Mayor, question? How do we keep them updated with ordinances as they change or new ones get developed?
I've been thinking about that, and I guess we need a procedure for
Do you give them all the
ordinances.
ordinances or just some of them?
The only ones I'm giving them are the ones where there are fines and penalties. I don't think they'd have any interest in the other ordinances. So there's the only ones. I think there's only 3 ordinances that have fines and penalties in them: the zoning ordinance, the nuisance ordinance, and the solid waste ordinance. I think are the only 3 that have fines and penalties. And it's the nuisance ordinance and the trash ordinance probably that are gonna get most activity. So anyway, I'll be talking to Clint Shield here this week to bring him up to speed. Let's see, anything else? Any other questions or comments? I guess I can officially update everybody that that we do have a full-time deputy assigned out here now. His name is Jeff Bilbo.
Spell that? Spell that name?
Bilbo. So that's the first of 2 that's being assigned, but as of, I guess as of Monday of this week, or maybe as of the 1st of the month, he has been assigned out here for full-time.
Yeah, I think I went by the station up there yesterday, and sheriff and somebody goes up there. I think they must have been cleaning it out or moving furniture in or doing something.
Yeah, I did ask Sheriff Platt if they actually use that substation up there, since we pay rent on it every month. And he said, yes, they do use it and they appreciate having it, so we'll continue to do that. Any other comments? I guess the next scheduled meeting then is our regular May meeting. No announcements. Motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Ken made a motion to adjourn, Lynn seconded it. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned.